Hello and a very warm welcome from Malboon, Liechtenstein for the 5th UIAA Ice Climbing European Cup event of this season. And what a battle it's going to be. We've got the women's and then the men's finals, and vying for a place on the podium is a mix of up-and-coming challengers and veterans, including the exciting return of one very familiar name in the women's lineup. So let's have a look at the starting list for the women's final. Cora Fogel actually will not be on the start list. She has unfortunately not able to take part in the final. But next up is Selina Bossard, Vivian Labaril from Switzerland, Olga Kossak from Poland, and then from Finland, Eni Bertling, Marianne van der Steen from the Netherlands, and from Switzerland we have the return of Petra Klingler and Sina Gertz. So that all promises to be an exciting showdown, very exciting, particularly for to see the return of Petra Klingler. We haven't seen her since 2019. She, of course, was a big player on the ice climbing scene before retiring to concentrate on her Olympic dreams, taking part in Tokyo in 2020. So, quick rundown on what's happening now. So the women have been on the observation period at the moment, checking out the route. And in just a few minutes, Selina Bossard will emerge to begin the first of the women's finals. Then at 8 o'clock will be the men's final, so there'll be a little bit of a gap for about an hour between the end of the women's finals and the men's finals beginning, while the route setters do their work. But it's looking like it's going to be a great evening. It's been about -4, -5 all day, which is pretty good news for the ice section, which will come into play for the women. So my name is Tarquin Cooper, and I'll be commentating throughout all of the action this evening. It's great to see the European Cup really in full swing. This is the 5th stop. There's just one more stop next month in Oulu in Finland. But really everyone's psyching up, gearing up in Stoke for next weekend when the action kicks off in Stadsbay. We've got the World Youth Championships as well as the World Championships, which is a standalone event. So we've seen teams competing today all the way from Japan and the USA. Has almost a feel of a World Tour stop here in Liechtenstein. Athletes getting ready for the season. And of course, over in America, it's the Ice Festival in Ouray on at the moment. Not to be confused with the North American Championships, which are next month and they'll be streamed. But good to see that happening. If you look at some of the results over there, it's interesting to see some of the European athletes are taking part, including Aneta Lujeka. So we are all waiting now for the first athlete to come forward. And that will be Selina Bossard. Great vibes here in Malboon. Hosted the Youth Championships back in 2018. No athletes from Liechtenstein, unfortunately, in the women's final, but 2 are taking part in the men's final. The Gantner brothers. But here is Selina Bossard, just roping up there. The old figure of 8, and then the down knee comes off. So she finished up 4th in Bern at the beginning of the season, back in November. Previously competed in the Youth Championships. Let's see what she can do. And then the new addition to this year and last year's, the face mask, that comes off. One of the judges just offering, by the looks of it, to take her jacket. So, she grabs the tools. Let's see what she can do. So the women have 6 minutes to get as high as they can on this tower. Always quite nerve-wracking for the first athlete to come out. It's not just about how good you are, but your ability to perform on the day. Good view of some of the holds. That's what you've got. That's a good hold, that. Nice bit of Swiss rock. So Selena making her way up. That's fairly straightforward first section. But athletes do need to be really careful. Just going in to place that right into a stein. A little bit more of a sort of a floating undercling. It's a very delicate maneuver. It's not quite as secure as a stein. So she gets that first quick draw, and she is on the scoreboard. You can see a time of 1:17. A few cries of allez, allez. Just snowing a little bit outside. Quick draw number 2 for Selena Bossard. Didn't quite get the stein with the left. It is a very secure hold, but only when it's placed 100% in the sweet spot, and when it's fully weighted. Bit of a swing there with the left. Goes to the second attempt. Let's see what she can do with the third. No, and she's off. That is her attempt over for Selena Bossard. Tried 4 times to place that left pick. Just couldn't find that sweet spot in the hold. She reached up, she had the tool in her mouth, stood up, used her feet, couldn't quite hold the position. And then her foot, right foot, just skidded out, just popped. But she made the final. She's on the scoreboard. Let's see what the other athletes are capable of. Next up will be Viviane Labarille. But she doesn't look too happy, the 18-year-old Selena Bossard. Perhaps wondering that she could have done a little bit better. But that is it. That's what it's all about, being a professional athlete, managing the defeats, learning from the mistakes, and coming back stronger. So, next athlete to have a go at this tower is fellow Swiss athlete Viviane Labarille, 23 years old. She finished up second in Bern, so a podium contender. And in 2020, she finished up third overall on the European Cup. 4th overall the year before that. Cry of Allez Vivi from her teammates here in the audience. On go those gloves, which give absolutely no warmth whatsoever, but they do provide lots of grip, and that is what you want. So she's off. Her 6 minutes begin now. And she makes a fine start attacking this early section. She means business, walking those legs up quickly. So this just gets her on these 2 SAM holds, the rock sort of placed within a little disc, and she's just sort of fishing around there. You can see her looking for that, the sweet spot on the rock, decides that lower down one is not quite the one, so gets up higher with the left. Big reach. She's on the scoreboard with that first quick draw. And almost half a minute faster than her teammate Selena Bossar. So she just gingerly stands up now. Moves her grip into to have the longer reach. Matches with the right and gets that second quick draw. Now it's into this Stein with the left. Is she happy with it? She's not quite happy. She's found the spot and then waits it, tool in the mouth. Now gets her left hand and gets the tool, and she sticks it first time. Very confident performance here from Vivian. So she's got the 3rd, she's got the 4th. So important, athletes clip all the quick draws in the correct order. 2 athletes in Bern were penalised for not doing that. Laura Van Almen and Annie Bertling. She's just got her tool caught in the rope. And that figure of 4 allowing her to reach up high with the right. Matches with the left. Both hands on the same tool, that is. And gets that 5th quick draw. Still with 3.5 minutes remaining. And using figure 4, she's able to reach up onto the next move. Goes for Stein with the left. Reaches up and gets 7th quick draw. Looking strong from Vivian Labaril. 23 years old. You get a sense of just how challenging some of these holds are. Got a little shiny bit of steel to put the pick on there. Looks like a Kruganogi. Very firm foot placements. Very confident performance here from Labaril. Matches the hands on that same tool. Now it's onto the hanging barrel. And it's just a case of hooking your picks onto this. No chance at getting real penetration. High left foot, interesting, because there's nothing holding it there. Athletes don't have heel spurs, they were banned several years ago. She's just resting it on the volume there. Quite extraordinary. Haven't seen this type of technique before, but there she goes into the more conventional figure of 4, figure of 9, and she's just trying to control the swing. Very difficult. Getting the leg over the arm does allow you to control your position a little bit better. Takes the stress off your core muscles. So she's trying to get a little bit higher before going for that 8th quick draw. She's got a minute left. And here it's just important to stay calm. Keep your breathing under control. Slowly she's moving through it. She's working it, and she's got it. She's got that 8th quick draw. 8 out of 14. But she only has 30 seconds remaining. With still some distance to go left on this route. A little bit of a shake with the left arm. Got the side hang there. Just placing the pick flush on that rock hold. Strong front point kicks with her feet. Gets her foot on that barrel, but discovers it's not very secure, it just swings. So she's just trying to keep her feet on a little bit more secure of the terra firma of the plywood. But her time is up, and she's off. And left her tools behind. A big cheer there for Viviane Labarille. Claps from her teammates. Shakes her head. Big smile there from very happy.
Oh, scheiße.
Well, we won't translate that.
Nicht zu.
Die natürlich kleine Techniker Break, weil ein Eiswechsel oben hängt.
She tried to swing across onto that other wall, but didn't have the momentum. Was left in no man's land, and nothing she could do. Of course, part of their training is the dead hang. What athletes will do as part of their training is just literally to hang for as long as possible. But at the end of the route, when there's nothing left in the tank, there's nothing you can do to hang on.
Oh, wirklich? Das ist schon recht schlecht.
So Viviane Labarille just reliving what happened up there.
Ich bin mir nicht sicher, aber ich glaube.
Despite the smiles, there was a very distinct and audible "Ah, Scheisse" from Viviane. Perhaps feeling that she could have done better. So we just have to wait now for her tools to be retrieved. Got the little crane there. One of the route setters going up to fish them down. So we've got an exciting calendar ahead of us. Next weekend, it's all kicking off in Saas-Fee. We've got the World Youth Championships as well as the World Championships event, which is a standalone event, and that promises to be super exciting. Athletes from all over the world coming to take part. Now, if you're trying to find out the latest on Instagram and you haven't heard from us, well, there's a reason for that. We've actually changed our Instagram accounts. For some reason, we lost our UIAA Mountains account with Instagram. So we've got a new account. So please do look for it and follow us. It is at UIAA Ice Climbing World Tour. So please do that when you get the chance. Follow us on social media and get back connected with all the updates. And what updates we've got, really, because it's just been super exciting. And we've got North American Championships taking place on the 4th to 6th of February. We'll be live streaming that. Next weekend, as I mentioned, we've got SAS-FE. We're in Finland February 18th for the final European Cup in Oulu. Then we're going to be in Korea 25th of February. Now look, we've got the ice axe. It has been retrieved. And then we're going to be in Russia for the first 2 weekends of March in Tyumen and then Kirov. So it's all kicking off, and it's super exciting lineup of events about to take place. And this is really just the warm-up here in Malboon, the teaser of more to come. And if you missed it, we live streamed the Bern European Cup events, so that's also on our YouTube channel. Do check that out, as well as, of course, highlights from previous years. So a big shout out to all the volunteers and helpers who take part, route setters, judges, belayers, without whom we would not be able to make this event happen. A nice log fire there. Great conditions here in Malboon. So from Poland, it can only be Olga Kostek. Very impressive climber, not just a competition climber either. She's quite the adventure climber too. She's put up some ascents in her hometown, in the local Tatras Mountains. So she's been having a good season this year. She was first in Zelina, and third in Brno. Currently lying in 5th place overall. What has she got in store for us today? She's having a long, hard look at the route. Grabs her tools, and she has 6 minutes now. Starting now. One of the older athletes taking part, 30 years old. But that equals lots of experience. So in just 30 seconds, she's got herself onto the scoreboard. And she's off. She will be so cross about that. Just didn't, something just ripped there. I think it was her right pick. She will be furious over that. Can't quite believe that that just happened so soon into her final attempt. No chance to have another go. So she's going in for the Stein with the right. Did she have it though? And it was the left that ripped. It was the left. She didn't quite have the Stein ready. She was just trying to get that in, and just goes to show how fragile, how delicate these holds are, and the amount of balance and precision and strength that it requires to hold your body into position. All over for Olga Kosek. But no doubt we will see her next weekend in Saas-Fee. Vivian Labaril there. Having a little bit of a joke and a laugh. So waiting now for Annie Bertling to come through. And she is having a storming season this year. Currently leading the rankings. She was 7th in Bern, but 2nd in Zelina, 1st in Brno, and 2nd in Utrecht. And she would have done much better in Bern if she had remembered to clip the 6th quick draw. She missed it, and unfortunately didn't spot that she had missed it, and carried on climbing. And the rules state that if that happens, if you miss a quick draw, the score comes from the last correctly placed quick draw. So that was a very costly error for her. You can relive that. That's on a YouTube channel. We live streamed that event. Great tower, this. Perfect conditions for both dry tooling and a bit of regular ice climbing. Liechtenstein, always one of those places that comes up in a pub quiz. It's Europe's fourth smallest country. But here comes Annie Bertling from Finland, 43 years old, the oldest athlete in the finals. Just gives us a little cheeky smile. Did she hear me? Probably won't get any thanks for mentioning the age, but just goes to show that you can still be at the top of your game and dominate this sport at that age. It's all about staying in condition, injury-free. And it also demonstrates that it's as much a mental game, this, as a physical game. She just has one last look at the route, tries to remember what she worked out during the observation period. She has 6 minutes from Annie Bertling from Finland. And she starts. She just holds that right tool in the second grip position, a little bit higher up, just to do a little side hang on that first rock. The route setter is Sylvain Schupak, who's the coach of the Swiss team. We see a mix of holds, the kind of rock. We can see here, Annie's just reaching up with her left tool. She also decides to go for the slightly higher one. Also a few Kruganogi holds, they're the sort of shiny metal. And the volumes, bit of plastic. And then further up in the route, there is an ice section for the women. Now, Eni, a little bit delicate here. She's matching, not sure whether to match the tool or match the hand. She goes with matching the hand, steps up, walks that left hand a little bit higher up the shaft of the tool. That's the right hand on that spot. And she gets that first quick draw. Taking her time. Slow but steady. You don't want to rush it and then, like Olga Kosak, suddenly come off. So almost 2 minutes have passed as she now gets onto the overhanging section of plywood. Gets that left into Stein. That's the maneuver where it's upside down. And the head of the axis is flush against the wood. Very secure if weighted. Can she reach with the left? She's got it. Is she happy with it? Is she going to commit? She is. Just walks those feet a little bit up towards the left and just gingerly removes the right. Repositions the tool using her mouth and matches with the right. But remembers this time to get the third quick draw. Yes, she'll be very conscious of those quick draws. Reaches up, gets number 4. 3 minutes down, 3 minutes remaining. Very precise here from Bertling. Just goes into the figure of 4 there, allowing her to reach up with the left. Just helps to center your body position. There's some climbers who claim it helps you actually reach a little bit higher, but others would disagree with that. It's all about efficiency, trying to save, to expend as least amount of energy as possible. And it does take the strain a little bit if you can use your legs off your arms. So she's 40 seconds off the pace. It's not a speed event, but the time does count. And certainly with only 2 minutes remaining, Bertling will need to get a move on if she wants to move onto a podium place. Just struggling to figure out how best to place the tool on that Krukonogi. She's got it. Removes the right. 1.5 minutes remaining. Very delicate, this floating under cling. She reaches up with the right and sticks it. First time. That could have been dangerous if she had not stuck it. Now she looks ahead to that hanging barrel. It'll be interesting to see how she approaches it. Whether we'll see similar moves that Viviane Labarille deployed. Yep, she does exactly the same. Gets the foot on top of that volume and allows a little bit of a rest. Big shouts from below. 30 seconds remaining for Eni Bertling. She needs to get a move on. Pick is off. She placed it. And it's difficult to see exactly whether the wood gave way, whether there was a chip that happened. But either way, she is off. Her finals attempt is over. She looks pretty happy. Takes the downy from one of the helpers. She gets her breath back. Now that should see her move ahead of Viviane Labouriel. But we shall have to wait to see the scoreboards, until the scoreboards are updated. So there is her tool, still lodged. And you can see how the holds have been pre-chipped. She reached up with the right. And you can see it looks like the wood just gave way there. Closely mimicking, of course, what happens in the real world if that was ice. That is one of the elements of chance that you get in this sport, that the ice can give way, or the wood can give way in this case. So Viviane Labouriel had actually managed to clip the 9th quick draw, whereas Bertling only managed to get as far as the 8th quick draw. So she moves into 2nd place. Labouriel got a little bit, Bertling managed to get a little bit higher in the move, but the points come from the quick draws. So it's all about trying to get those quick draws early on. They are what get you high on the scoreboard. And then it's the move which comes next. A quick draw, then it's the number of the move, and then it's where you are on the move. Team Japan. Good to see them coming all the way out to Europe to take part in this event. They'll be taking part as well in Saas-Fee next weekend. So from the Netherlands, we have Marianne van der Steen, veteran of the climbing circuit. Interestingly, both she and her husband, Dennis van Hoek, currently lying in 2nd place in the standings in the European Cup. I think it might be the first time we have a husband and wife on the podium. See, she's got her golfing gloves on. They are reputed to be the best for this sport. So Marianne van der Steen, 2nd in the rankings, 3rd in Zelina, 2nd in Brno, and 1st on her home in Utrecht. 6 minutes begins. A little bit of a wobble on that left pit. Side hang with the right, matches with the left hand, gets the right a little bit higher on the shaft, and then reaches up with the left. Big steps with those front points. You do have to kick really hard into the plywood. A couple of years ago, Gordon MacArthur broke his toe kicking in so hard. So she goes straight away for that higher hold with the left. Matches with the right. Gets that right. Gets that first quick draw. fastest, 26 seconds behind Olga Kossak, but then speed didn't help Kossak. Now it's just a little bit tricky. Bit of a floater with the right, kicks hard with the left. Just trying to hold her body into position before standing up. A little bit awkward of a cross reach there with the left, but she gets it. Gets quick draw number 2. 2 of 14 in this route. Into the Stein. Walks those feet as high as she can possibly get them before stepping up, reaching with the left, and she sticks it first time. Very confidently from Marianne van der Steen. Also one of the older athletes taking part, 37 years old. Got that side hook with the right, moves the feet across. Just over 3 minutes remaining. She gets into her first figure of 4 now. Lots of shouts now from the crowd below. She starts to argue barrels. A little bit of a close call there. She did well to get back onto the wood. Get those feet back into the rock, back into the wall. Quick draw number 6. She's moving up steadily. Number 7, halfway. Goes for a reverse grip to try and get this metal hold. Is she happy with it? She tests it. She's happy. She's moving upwards. That reverse grip is very strong because it allows you to use the stronger back muscles, your lats. But it comes off. She did well to stay on with that Stein on the right. Goes to show how secure a Stein can be. Shakes out the fingers. Goes again with the reverse grip. Skating around trying to find a sweet spot on that hold. It's quite possible it doesn't have one. Takes another look. All the while she's hemorrhaging time. Trying a different approach here, this time with a normal grip. Trying to leverage. They're off to the side now. What's she going to do? A little bit more intense to hold this position. Big shouts now from below. What's Marianne van der Steen going to do? She got it. A little bit of a cry there. Second attempt. She got one more in her. They're crying out below, telling her she's only got 30 seconds left. 25 now. She's had 2 attempts to get that stam hold. Can she do it with a third time lucky? No. Changes hands. She's got it, but she hasn't. It looked good, wasn't quite secure. And her time is sadly out. That seems too cruel that she finally sticks it, but unfortunately the clock has run out. And her attempt is over. She throws her arms in the air as if to say, what more could I do? And is greeted with a round of applause from the crowd here. Shakes her head. Marianne van der Steen. It might be enough to get her into third place, but we still have two more athletes to come. She takes the jacket and exits the climbing area. And that is Dennis, her husband. Shakes her head, a little bit of a team debrief here. Van der Steen departs. Dennis puts a consoling arm around her, knowing that unlikely to be enough to get her on the podium today. She moves into third place, but of course we've got two more athletes to follow, and they happen to be two of the best athletes out there. Petra Klingler and Sina Gertz are next up. There we are, the distinctive, ubiquitous Red Bull helmet. It can only be Petra Klingler. Great to see her back competing in the UIAA ice climbing circuit. She means business. She's ready to start. Her 6 minutes begins now, and she makes a fast start with this opening section of the route, making very easy work of it. 8 seconds to get to that first section to the volume, where others took almost 30 seconds. So Petra competed on the ice climbing world tour from 2012 to 2019, when she decided to focus on competition climbing to get into the Olympics. She duly took part in the Olympics in Tokyo. It wasn't a medal winning performance, but nonetheless she got to the Olympics. She's also a bouldering champion from 2016. 6 years on, she still looks the top of her game. Big reach up there with the left, sticks it. Just look at the footwork there, so secure. Matches with the right, gets the left on the tool, uses the right to get the quick draw. Just 1 minute and 10 seconds have gone. 39 seconds faster than Vivian Labril. But anything can yet go wrong. We saw with Olga Kosek. And that'll be quick draw number 4. Thank you very much. As Petra gets into that figure of 4, to reach up to the hold there, just sort of hidden from view on that volume. Start to get a little sense of just how overhanging this section of the route is. Very, very strong athlete, Petra. Still not yet 30 years old, 29. Just moves into a floating undercling with the right, with a Stein. Matches hands. Absolute efficiency and economy of movement. She gets that metal hold first time, doesn't faff. Just the accuracy. Again, with that right, getting it onto that SAM hold. being able to place the pick first time and hitting that sweet spot. It takes such precision and experience. Now she's moving on to the barrel. It's good to see that Petra has lost none of her ability with a pair of ice tools. So we're seeing a slightly different tactic from her. She's keeping her feet in a more conventional position, driving them in with her front points into the plywood and working her way up that barrel. Just trying to avoid swinging around. So that's 8th quick draw she's got. That's number 9. And she will now move into the lead, ahead of Vivian Labaril. She moves above the quick draw now. Still 2 minutes remaining. There's a little bit of a wiggle with the right pick there, just to make sure it's in that perfect place within the hold. She hasn't quite got past the barrel. Got quick draw number 10. Steps over, and she's on the other side of the structure. What we have now is the ice section. Beckons, and she's on the ice. 1 minute 30 seconds remaining, gets that 11th quick draw. She's storming ahead now. Almost speed climbing. This girl is going for it. Petra Klinger. Onto the ice and just romping her way up. Jumps up. Here we go. We are looking to see a first athlete top. A minute remaining. Barring a disaster, we shall see Klinger top. She knows that Sina Gertz is behind her, so the faster she is, the better her chances. Just one more quick draw. 40 seconds remaining. Now these tools are optimized for dry tooling. They are absolutely not optimized for swinging it into ice. The angle of the pick is not quite right. It's also a little bit heavy. So you don't really want to be swinging, you just want to be hooking. That is just placing the tool. And that is exactly what Klinger is doing. Cries of Ale Petra, 5 seconds. Is she going to get it? She's got it. Just with a few seconds remaining. Fantastic masterclass there from Swiss athlete Petra Klingler. She means business. Shows us how it's done. Great to see that she shows she's lost none of her form. Very happy with that. Now the real challenge, of course, after a climb like this is, can you undo your figure of 8? When your forearms are shot to pieces, she looks for help. Is it coming? She's smiling, she can't do it. Look. Nope, she's given up. Always a good sign when you're just so pumped you can't even undo your figure of 8 knot at the end. And look, the teeth are going in. So, what effect that will have on Petra's position in the European Cup ranking will be very interesting, because this is her first appearance on the tour. It may not be enough to get her into an overall podium position. Big smile there from Petra. But she has laid down the gauntlet to Sina Gertz, who is coming up next. Sina, who has really dominated in the last few years. In the 2019 to 2020 season, she absolutely crushed it, winning every single European tour stock. So it will be interesting to see the face-off, the battle between Sina and Petra in this contest this evening. Sina, of course, is a very fast climber as well. Very, very capable athlete. She's only taken part in one tour stop this winter in Bern, which of course she won. But that's the only one she's competed in, so just got the 100 points. She's lying 8th in the rankings. And again, even a win here today would give her another 100 points, but that still probably wouldn't be enough to get her on the podium with the overall rankings, unless she also competes in Oulu. Sina's just 22 years old. She will be feeling very much on home soil here. Liechtenstein, it's almost a part of Switzerland. Shakes those arms out. It's actually one of the last, one of 343 principalities of the old Holy Roman Empire. Handy to know if ever you're in a pub quiz. Now, Sina Gertz, both picks in the starting position, and begins her ascent. 6 minutes have started. She won't know that she needs to top, having been in isolation. Every athlete competes blind, not knowing how the others have performed, unless of course they come out after a couple of minutes, then you know clearly something's going wrong. Good example of a floater with the right earlier. So she's got the first quick draw, going for number 2, gets it straight into the Stein with the left. Ooh, just 1 second off the pace. But Petra was only just able to top in the allotted time, so it gives an idea that you need to be fast. You can't hang around, and you can't afford to miss the next hole 2 times. Let's see if she can get it on the 3rd. She does. Sina Gertz. Quick draw number 3. Matches with the right tool. Left tool comes out. Gets both hands on that tool. And now in a side pull position, gets that right pick into a, just places it over the hold. Just checks to see whether it's good. Into the 4. Reaches up with the right. Delicate moves here from Sina Gertz. Effortlessly done, that quick draw placement, number 5. 7 seconds off the pace. This is very much a race now, where time absolutely counts. Allows herself a quick shake of the right before going for the Stein. Quick draw number 7. She's got that metal hold. Matches with the right. Gets that Sam hold with comparative ease compared to Marianne van der Steen, who really struggled there. Now she's taken this approach of resting the feet on that top of the volume, unlike Petra Klingler, who chose to keep her front points into the plywood. Let's see what Sina is going to do. Goes for that quick draw number 9. She's at the top of the barrel. She needs to reach up. And she's now moved ahead of Klingler, 8 seconds faster. You can see now her extraordinary flexibility there, almost doing the splits between the two sides of this structure. So she's just got to cross over, but she does so well to stay on there after slipping. Just got to move over. Anything can happen. It could have all been over there for 22-year-old, but she managed to stay on. Now it's just a romp up the ice. She wants to make sure she gets that 11th quick draw. She's got it. Got 1 minute, 36 seconds remaining. She knows she needs to be as fast as possible. It's almost a speed climbing technique. She's not swinging with the tools, it's just placing them. Just hooking those tools in. At this point, athletes can be forgiven for wishing they had a regular ice picks. But she's 16 seconds ahead of Klingler. She's just got to make sure there are no mistakes. And a victory is within reach for Sina Gertz. And we thought Petra Klingler gave a masterclass, but look at the performance that Sina Gertz has just given. Extraordinary, and she's done it with 30 seconds to spare. Fantastic performance there from the young Swiss athlete. Very much laid down a marker for any female athletes looking to compete on the World Tour, the World Championships next weekend. This girl is the one to beat. And with that performance, she will win the Malboon stop on the European Ice Climbing Tour. Fantastic performance there from Sina Gertz. So that brings to a close the women's final. Big smiles there from Sina. So Sina Gertz.
Du hast auch Tom.
Ja, aber wie schnell gewesen. Ja, ja. Ich bin hure knapp auf die 6 Minuten.
Congratulatory hug there from Petra Klingler. So Sina takes the gold, Petra into second place, and it will be Vivian Labaril who goes into third. Swapping notes there. So, little update on what happens next. Now, the men's final was scheduled to begin at 8 p.m. in 1 hour's time, but we've been told by the organisers that the men's will now start in half an hour. So keep your browser on, you've got time for a break, go grab something to eat or drink, and see you again in half an hour's time. Thanks for watching.